Biltmore, North Carolina history, the untold legacy hidden in the Blue Ridge Mountains. The Biltmore Estate is often praised as a marvel of architecture, a breathtaking symbol of the Gilded Age tucked away in the rolling Blue Ridge Mountains of Asheville, North Carolina. Built in the late 19th century by George Vanderbilt II, this sprawling mansion has long been celebrated for its grandeur and timeless elegance. But behind the lavish halls and manicured gardens lies a story far more complex and far more mysterious. As a native North Carolinian with a lifelong passion for history, I've explored countless landmarks across the state. Yet, nothing prepared me for the sense of awe and curiosity that struck me when I first stepped through the gates of Biltmore. The estate radiates wealth and artistry, but whispers of forgotten stories seem to linger in its corridors. My intrigue deepened after learning about an overlooked chapter in the Biltmore, North Carolina history, one intertwined with the African American experience. Digging into old archives, I began to uncover a fascinating web of connections between the Vanderbilt family and some of the most influential African American leaders of the early 20th century. W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, James Weldon Johnson, and Mary McLeod Bethune, towering figures of Black history, were all linked to this seemingly secluded mountain estate. From 1912 to 1956, Asheville became a discreet meeting ground for African American intellectuals, politicians, and cultural icons. What drew them here? Why did their presence remain largely unspoken in the mainstream narrative of the estate? The Biltmore Estate's history is more than a tale of wealth. It is a hidden chapter of America's cultural and social evolution, a reminder that even the most celebrated landmarks can harbor stories that remain in the shadows, until someone dares to search. Biltmore, North Carolina history, secrets behind America's largest home. In the late 1880s, George Washington Vanderbilt, scion of one of America's wealthiest families, began quietly acquiring land in the misty mountains of Asheville, North Carolina. His purchases would eventually total an astonishing 125,000 acres, a realm so vast it could swallow entire towns. By 1889, plans were in motion for something unprecedented, a palatial home unlike anything the country had ever seen, designed by the legendary architect Richard Morris Hunt. It would take 6 relentless years to complete the 250-room masterpiece. Spanning a floor area of nearly 4 acres, the Biltmore boasted 43 bathrooms, 65 fireplaces, 34 bedrooms, an indoor swimming pool, and a 10,000-volume library, a kingdom of luxury in stone. Its halls glittered with priceless art and antiques, each piece whispering of faraway places and untold stories. The grounds, shaped by famed landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, were just as carefully crafted. A 3-mile approach road wound through bamboo stands and curated forests, designed to lull visitors into the illusion of retreating into another world. Here, Olmsted would pioneer the nation's first managed forest, bringing in foresters Gifford Pinchot and Carl Alwyn Schenck, the latter founding America's first forestry school on the estate in 1898. But grandeur does not shield against loss. In 1914, George Vanderbilt died unexpectedly, and his widow sold 87,000 acres to the U.S. Forest Service, shrinking the vast domain. By the early 21st century, the estate had been reduced to roughly 8,000 acres, but its allure had only grown. Opening to the public in 1930, Biltmore evolved into a world-class destination, drawing over 1 million visitors annually. Guests came not just for the opulent mansion, but for the village, restaurants, shops, vineyard, and historic gardens, each a fragment of Vanderbilt's dream. In 1963, it was named a National Historic Landmark, and 3 years later it entered the U.S. National Register of Historic Places. Yet, for all its fame, Biltmore still harbors mysteries, stories of power, ambition, and hidden connections that history has not fully revealed. Perhaps that is the true magic of the Biltmore, North Carolina history, its ability to keep us wondering what lies behind the next locked door. History Love is your go-to YouTube channel for exploring the fascinating stories of the past. Subscribe now and uncover the hidden chapters history tried to forget.